What's up, YouTube? What's up, America? Uh, I don't know how to even begin with this. I guess we'll just start right from the top. Most of you know I live in Minnesota. Um, I actually live in Minneapolis. You've seen on the news that there was a police officer who killed a black man that was in handcuffs in a pretty nasty way. Yeah, it doesn't look good. I guess I'll start on that part, my opinion on that. I do not think that the African American community is overreacting in how they behave with this thing, on how they feel with this thing. I firmly believe that we need police reform. I believe that there's a fine line, and not a lot of people know this about me. I actually, from 2005 to 2006, I went and had started going to school to be a police officer. This was before I went and I joined the military, and then decided eventually that I would become a veterinarian. And I did my first year, and I kind of liked it, but then I got called up for active duty, and I took off. Um, when I came back, it was different. It was militarized. It was no longer about community policing. It was no longer about how you communicate with somebody. One of the things I'll never forget, his name was Forrest Nutter. He was one of the professors here. He used to be a DEA agent. And he had always said, most of your calls are going to be Grandma Ethel calling because she can't reach her heart medication. And you will have to take that call. And you will have to give her professional service because you work for her. That is the one thing I remember out of all the lessons from when I went and I did that. That you work for the public. You have to treat everyone with respect. And that still resonates with me, and I expect law enforcement to always be respectful of a human being. One of the things I don't condone is I don't like police officers that just go out and write tickets all the time, just to try to make revenue for the state or for the department or whatever. I don't think that's right, because you're not helping anybody. It's more effective if you've stopped somebody to tell them that, hey, you were speeding. This is why it's bad. We can't have this. And give them a chance to correct. You have to give them a chance to correct. Instead of what we have now, which is, oh, I'm going to cite you for whatever I can. You have police officers that shoot first and ask questions later, and then they use the excuse of, well, I feared for my own safety. Well, I'm sorry, but when I joined the military, I feared for my own safety every day. I still had to go out and do the job, and I was not allowed to shoot an unarmed citizen. Ever. So, the fact that here in the state of Minnesota, we have somebody who shot and killed a black man in his car. His name was Philando Castile. He was in his car. He had followed every law for him to be able to carry a firearm. And he was killed because the officer was too quick on the trigger and too itchy in order to send that thing off. There's another case that has not even hit the media yet, and it is literally a mile down the road from my house, where police officers arrest a man who just had back surgery. They have him on the ground, and they are trying to get his arms behind his back, and they can't because of the restrictions from the surgery. And they said he was resisting arrest because couldn't get the cuffs on. Does that make sense to you? It doesn't. It doesn't make sense to me, and I'm a white guy. I'm a country boy. And yet, I'm sitting here and I'm watching officers kill people and arrest people and harass people under an authoritarian government that never should have happened. Police officers are never supposed to be militarized. They should not have assault weapons. They should not have body armor. It should be your whole job is de-escalating a situation and arresting because you have no other option. Jails are filled too damn fast because of police officers. That's just my take on that. I firmly believe that we need to have a major reform, and we need to stop a lot of the bull that is going on with police officers. Just because you carry a badge does not mean you need to arrest every person in sight. You need to be respectful to human beings. Just because you go and you make contact with somebody and you find out, oh, they have a warrant or something like that, that does not mean that you go and you arrest them. It means that you let them know, hey, they're looking for you. You might want to get up there and go and get it figured out. You don't have to arrest somebody. You don't have to beat somebody. And that officer that went and did what he did, that started all of this crap, he's going to get to what's coming to him. There ain't no lie on it. He is going to get what's coming to him, one way or another. They're already outside of his house. Yeah. They went to his house and they wrote murderer on his driveway. Yeah. That's my take on what brought this whole situation in. I firmly agree. Policing in this entire country has to change. It is not supposed to be police versus citizen. It's supposed to be the police work for the citizens, regardless on if you like them or not. You work for them. You treat them with respect. As for the rioting, I live about 5 miles away from a place called the Como Zoo. They let animals out. 2 gorillas got killed. I don't even know however many other animals got released. What in the hell are you guys doing? I get you're upset. On a human level, I get why you're upset. And I am fighting for you as much as I possibly can from the little bit that I've got on this channel. There is no excuse for what happened. None. I will spin that every single day. A million times a day. What happened should have never happened. But given this tragedy, and an officer killed a black person by stepping on his windpipe, he killed him. That's a tragedy. The 3 officers who were standing around him and let it happen and kept the public from being able to do something to defend somebody's life, they all got fired. They're all going to get brought up on charges. But every time you riot, every time you set a building on fire, every time you let animals out of a frickin' zoo, every time that you light a gas station up because you want to protest or something, every cop car that you smash, do you know what you're doing? You're not bringing the situation in front of the entire world to make it look like, hey, here's a problem. We need to get this fixed, and we need to get this fixed now. You're making it worse. You smashed a police car. Good for you. You want a cookie? Way to go. You know what you just did? You just increased everybody's taxes. Because it's not the police that are going to pay for that window. That's you and that's me. We're paying for that window. Nobody else is. So all you did was you just destroyed something that you're going to have to pay for later. You didn't send a good message. Gas station 1 block from my house was just set on fire about an hour ago. What good does that do for the whole situation? I mean, come on, guys. We, you have every right to be upset. I'm not saying you don't. Frankly, I wish that more people would jump on the bandwagon and start demanding better from all these cops. I really do. I mean, it's it's just that bad that here I am and I'm sitting there and I am just begging people to just think before you do something, because I don't care what the cops think. I don't. I don't. You can't defend the action. You have a police union out there that their whole job is to make the cops look good and keep the cops employed. But all that's happening is these people are keeping crooked cops in there. And when I say crooked cop, I know that there are cops that are good, that they're there for the right reasons. But George Floyd and his memory and what happened should be with everyone. And if you are a police officer who sits there and thinks, oh, well, the officers restrained him in some sort of way, you're trying to cover for them. And that makes you crooked too. And we've got to get that fixed. We've got to get this fixed. The only way that America gets back to where they need to be is by making the police own up to what they did. We need to reform how policing is done. We need to demand that background checks on police officers happen. We need to change how they're trained to no longer be militarized. You guys need to be community policing at all times, never arresting somebody. And if you shoot somebody and it's found out that they're unarmed, there should be no question on it. You should be put in handcuffs, placed at the back of a squad car, immediately lose your badge and your gun because you shot an unarmed human being. But George Floyd and his memory is being tarnished because you're out setting buildings on fire. Those people who you torch their businesses can't make money. Their employees can't make money. Now you've caused more problems for people who had absolutely nothing to do with any of this. And for those who are out there thinking, okay, so what's the whole point of it? Last night we had some really bad riots here. And it's caused a lot of people to be concerned. People at my vet clinic are concerned. I have an employee who lives a mile from where the incident took place. And she doesn't even know if she's going to have a home to go home to. I don't know if my home is going to get burned down in the middle of the night. I don't know if I'm going to have a car in the driveway in the morning. I want, I just want everybody to remember why you're fighting. You're fighting because a police officer who was given free power and a badge and a gun decided to kill somebody. And we need to step up and demand, as America, not white people or black people, as Americans, we need to step up and we need to tell people in this world that the police report to us. They don't report to some independent, quote unquote, uh, body that looks at policing, which is basically just police officers investigating police officers, which never amounts to anything. It needs to be that they report to the people at all times, and you need to be respectful of all people. That's my 2 cents. I don't know what's going to happen tonight. I'm going to try to live stream tonight. Hopefully everything goes good. And hopefully, if you're rioting, you're not doing anything to improve the message. You're not making yourselves look good. We're all Americans in this. We have to fight for Floyd. George Floyd. I just want to say good luck to all my fellow Minnesotans out there. We're with you. I'm thinking about all of you. Next 24 hours are going to be tough. Stay tuned.